Happy Monday, November 24th, and welcome to Weather Out West, the hour-long show where we showcase what's happening weather-wise across the western United States. I'm your host, meteorologist Leah Pizzetti. As we head into the holiday week, many people are hitting the roads and taking to the sky. And of course, weather can play a role in how quickly you get to your destination. We're going to walk you through where the weather is heading across the West Coast so you can plan your travels accordingly. Let's begin today with our team in Denver, watching snow chances for the state of Colorado.
Hello from Denver, Colorado. I'm 9 News Weather Impact Team Chief Meteorologist Kathy Sabin. And we've been tracking a storm crossing southern Colorado that brought snow to these southern mountains, but not to Denver. The average date of our first snowfall is mid-October, and we haven't seen the snow in Denver yet. And November is our 5th snowiest month with 7.4 inches on average. March, our snowiest month, followed by April. But November is usually a good snow month, and we're about to close it out without seeing that beneficial snow. But there are signs of change at the end of this week into next weekend. This system looks promising, right? Look at this counterclockwise swirl over southern Colorado. Almost looks like a springtime storm, ejecting to the north and east and weakening quite a bit. So we're getting a nice couple of days. A midweek storm may bring a few light snow showers to the northern and central mountains, but not a huge impact for travel, which is good. The southern mountains picking up 4 to 8 inches of snow. We had travel advisories out on Sunday. All of that moisture now is tracking east into the central and southern plains, and we have a new system taking shape to the north of us. But I think everybody's okay with having a Monday that is sunny and warm and dry and calm. And basically this week, even with a few dry fronts coming through, it's a good week of travel, a good week for shopping, good week to invite family in, enjoy the holiday and all of the rest. So this morning will be chilly. We're going to start in the 30s. We'll warm this afternoon to the upper 50s. Average high this time of year for Denver is about 50. And as we look at the extended forecast, check this out. We're almost 60 today. A dry front takes us into the 40s for Tuesday and Wednesday, but we're dry. Thanksgiving looks great. Sunny, temperatures in the mid 50s, above average highs, a few clouds in the afternoon. Friday, shopping looks terrific. But next weekend, the 9 News Weather Impact Team has issued a potential weather impact alert for Saturday and Sunday. Certainly cold both days and actually looks promising for maybe our first snow here in Denver. We're excited about it. We're on top of it, and you'll be the first to know.
I'm 9 News Weather Impact Team's Katie LaSalle. It is Monday, November 24th, and we're counting down the days to the holiday. Thanksgiving is fast approaching. And I want to talk about the forecast. Over the last 5 years, looking back, last year it was chilly on Thanksgiving Day, only at 34 degrees. The warmest that we've seen in the last 5 has been in 2021. We'll see temperatures inching closer to that than their average, with a high of 56 degrees expected in Denver. Typically, this time of the year, we see highs in the upper 40s on November 27th. Overnight lows set to fall to the 30s, but usually it's well below freezing this time of the year. We started off this morning right around 32 degrees, but if you can guess which turkey we're talking about for Turkey Day, is it sunny, rainy, windy, or cold? It'll be a little chilly, but mostly sunny skies is what we're expecting for this holiday. So changes are on the way after Thanksgiving. If you do have travel plans in and around the state, looking at our weather headlines, we are bracing for much colder air. It's set to arrive this weekend. It'll be Sunday where we'll see some of the coldest temperatures of the season. Daytime highs expected only to be in the 20s, and we have finally our chance for snowfall. Second latest first snowfall on record here for the Denver area. And we are tracking some very cold air that'll be rolling in from the north, impacting a big portion of the country. And here for the Rocky Mountains, more widespread snowfall is to be expected, which is great. And here in Denver, even colder than the mountains is what we're looking at for the storm system. It's still a ways out, but taking us to Thanksgiving. Today, upper 50s, windy, cooler, but dry. A little bit of light mountain snow, it looks like, into early Tuesday and Wednesday for our northern high country, less than 2 inches ahead. Warmer for Thanksgiving, but I'll step out of the way and show you Saturday and Sunday. We are bracing for 30s only on afternoon. We'll be tracking the system, but yes, a big portion of the region set to be impacted by cold and snow on Saturday into Sunday.
Well, USA Today named the best ski resorts in the country. Colorado did make the list, with Aspen Snowmass taking fourth place. The resort features 4 ski areas and more than 5,700 acres of skiable terrain, from Aspen Mountain's expert runs to beginner-friendly Snowmass and Buttermilk, plus freestyle parks and pipes. Snow Basin Resort in Utah earned first place nationwide. If the snow in Colorado doesn't make it feel like winter, the decor certainly will. Starting today, the holiday lights are turning back on at the Denver Zoo. The zoo lights are back for the 35th year, covering 80 acres with more than 3 million LED lights and dozens of animated animal displays. And now let's go to Arizona, where mild conditions are keeping this holiday week pleasant.
I'm meteorologist Ginger Jeffries with a look at weather out west, where we have been on the wet and cold side, but now we're going to get back to the basics. I'm talking about sunshine. Temperatures are going to be warming this week. We're into the 70s. So yeah, finally getting a break from all of the soggies. Take a look across Arizona. Yep, we'll still see a few clouds here and there, and we'll got some fog in the morning, especially in the higher elevations. But otherwise, oh, those sunshines, yep, they're coming back courtside. 68 for you today. I've got 62 in Havasu, about 64 in Tucson. We're looking for 51 in Show Low, 51 at the Grand Canyon, 57 today in Sedona, and overhead pushing the numbers up into the upper 60s. Over the weekend, yeah, more rainfall. And look at this, heavy lifting northern part of the region, almost an inch of rain in Scottsdale, over an inch in Cave Creek. And then again, this is our totals from Saturday into Sunday, so extends basically beyond 24 hours. That's just how much the duration of the rainfall. Not so much moisture out to the west side, only about 0.8 of an inch of rain in Buckeye. Tempe, about a third, much of the same in Phoenix. So you can see it was spotty, but at times definitely on the soggy side, let's say. Meantime, this week, as we take a look ahead, next 5 days, all right, the trend of the forecast definitely showing numbers are warming up. That looks nice, mid 70s, right? Let's go beyond that. Now, 6 to 10 day outlook. It appears that we have some more rain coming our way. Again, this is the good 10-day forecast. And as far as the temperatures go, well, I think that also means we're going to be on the mild side. So temperatures are down and more precipitation should be coming in, again, 6 to 10 days out. So enjoy what we've got today. And that does include this. A little bit of fog in the higher elevations from Prescott into Flagstaff. Doesn't include Payson. This is going to burn off after the sun comes up. So this dense fog advisory through 6 o'clock this morning. I'm saying turning sunny because we've got some clouds out there this morning, and then they're going to exit stage right, allowing those numbers to respond. So upper 60s, which is still technically below where we're supposed to be this time of the year. 73, our normal range, but we're going to get there, folks. And to put it into reference, yesterday we only saw a high of 65. So we've been in the 50s and 60s all last week with the rainfall, but now we're going to start to turn a new leaf. We've got a little bit of cloud cover tonight, but then high pressure starts to build in, and this is the magic maker. We need that high pressure to basically allow that warmer air in. Now, by definition, high pressure in the upper levels of the atmosphere, so we'll still get some of these mid and low level clouds. It just doesn't look like any of those clouds will be able to produce any kind of precipitation, and it's going to allow those temperatures to climb. So higher elevations, yep, after the first snowfall of the season, you're going to enjoy some nice sunny skies, albeit on the cooler side. I mean, look at these overnights dropping into the 20s. But then this weekend, here we go again. More snow in the works by Sunday. For the valley, I think we only have about a 30% chance of rain developing on Sunday, but a better chance in the 10-day forecast. So stay tuned for that. Until that time, just enjoy sunny, warm, yep, desert's finest. We are going for highs in the mid 70s, certainly not record territory, but finally getting back to the basics.
Thank you, Ginger. Still ahead, we'll go to the Golden State with a look at the weather this week from northern to southern California. Ski resorts are getting ready for the winter season, but what happens when the weather does not cooperate? Increasingly, resorts are turning to a new class of experts whose full-time job is figuring out the art and science of snowmaking. Connor McGill spoke to one of those new experts.
Well, they might as well call you Mr. Snow with your knowledge.
I don't know if I get that far, but I certainly love it.
Meet Brendan Ryan, a principal at Alpine Solutions. He's one of the experts ski resorts turn to as they try to adapt their snowmaking plans to a changing climate. For him, this all started early.
At one point, our neighbors came over and said, "Why is that boy outside in the snow?" And they couldn't get me inside. When I had an opportunity to, dig into it a little bit deeper and ultimately turn it into a career, I didn't stop.
And now that lifelong passion has turned into a national job, helping ski resorts from around the country figure out how to make snow when the weather doesn't always cooperate.
With climate change going on, snowmaking is becoming more and more important every year.
And that's why Sugar Bowl is thinking years ahead.
Currently, we actually are under a master plan project for our snowmaking system, which we want to expand.
Because even with some help from Mother Nature, snowmaking is still a science.
A lot of science.
There is a lot of science behind it, yeah. It's not just flipping on the guns and going. Just for example, right now when it's snowing, generally we can't make snow because it's too humid to do it.
And as temperatures and humidity swing more widely year to year, experts like Ryan have to customize plans for every mountain.
Every resort's different. I live in Conway, New Hampshire, and it's quite a bit different operating out there than it is, say, at Sugar Bowl. But it's exciting and it's amazing. At the end of the day, we're all trying to create an amazing skiing experience, by using air and water to make snow.
Thank goodness for science. Well, as ski resorts in California plan their opening days, the big question, will Mother Nature gift them with more rain this week, more precipitation, or will we have to rely on making it? Let's go now to meteorologist Monica Woods in Sacramento with the answer for Northern California.
I'm meteorologist Monica Woods getting going on this holiday week, and we've got a mixed bag of weather throughout the region. Mostly sunny for the coast, but for the valley and even some of the lower foothills, we're going to be dealing with areas of fog. Some areas it will be quite dense for the morning. Chilly mornings ahead for this year. We're dry, so we're going to have to rely on some of the machine-made snow up top this week. Fog alerts continue throughout the Central Valley, and that is that dense fog advisory. Limited visibility up along I-5 and Highway 99, big corridors for holiday travel. We're going to be dealing with the fog. That, of course, includes the capital region. Now, we will see some clearing towards the coast. And again, for much of the upper foothills and through the Sierra, dry conditions persist, and that will lead to some better travel conditions. But this is what it looks like when we're dealing with the fog. This was out towards the airport. So unfortunately, it's not only for ground travel, but also air travel sometimes has a little difficulty landing in those conditions. Our statewide precipitation, we're going to take a little break from the rain and snow, but things are still faring very well since the beginning of the water year on October 1st. So we're really not too concerned about the lack of water coming in for this week. A nice little break as so many people head out for holiday travel. The one issue that we're going to be dealing with, though, and it is going to be quite troublesome, especially up and down the valley here, is going to be that fog. Very little clearing, especially throughout the Central Valley. That will include much of the San Joaquin Valley, parts of the Sacramento Valley clearing as we've got a weather system to the north of us, kind of disrupting this rather stable weather pattern. So we're right back at it again into our Wednesday forecast. So we've got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday that we're dealing with areas of fog, more cloud cover coming in, and that will help to bring us a little bit less in the way of fogginess for Thanksgiving Day. Meantime, kicking off this new work week for our Monday, highs are going to be near 50 up top for the Sierra, 60s down low throughout the foothills. As we travel south into the Central Sierra, highs are going to be close to 60 up top. Now we're, in fact, a little bit warmer in some of those higher elevations than, say, through the valley, where we're socked in with that fog and very little clearing, very little access to the sunlight. Throughout much of the San Joaquin Valley, highs are going to stay in the 50s to right around 60. We're in the 60s along the coast, but look at some of these temperatures here. For Big Sur, we're up to 68 degrees, San Luis Obispo at 71. So that just really showcases where we're seeing the fog keeping us much, much cooler on this Monday. Along the Bay Area, we'll see a mix of sun and clouds. Highs will be near 60 for the Delta region. highs will be in the upper 50s to near 60 as well, with that fog starting to retreat during the middle of the day. And for the northwest coast, highs are going to be in the 50s as we move through the north end of the valley. Highs in the mid 60s for Red Bluff and Redding, even into Chico, 64 degrees. Moving through this capital region, highs are going to be in the upper 50s to right around 60. But as we make our way through the northern San Joaquin Valley, fog sticking around pretty much through the early part of our afternoon, and that's going to give us a bit of cooler temperatures for the afternoon. So our 5-day regional forecast, we're dry for the Sierra. Highs are going to be in the 40s and 50s, but those morning lows are going to stick in the 20s and 30s. For folks that are skiing and snowboarding, definitely want to bundle up in layers. 60s for the coast and as well for the foothills, with, again, a little bit of patchy low cloudiness for the lower foothills, but all of that clears throughout the afternoon. I'll look at our extended forecast. We've got areas of fog right through the middle of our week. Thanksgiving Day looking good. Highs in the low 60s, morning lows in the 30s to near 40.
And to Southern California, because of recent rain, a lot of garbage is trapped in trash booms that stops it from flowing into San Diego from Tijuana. This comes after all of the rain we showed you last week. The Tijuana River Trash Boom Project estimates there's around 20 to 30 tons of trash caught right now.
This is not a lot, but last year we collected 500 tons. And in one event in March, there were about 250 tons.
Crews will remove the trash in coming days. It goes straight to the landfill because the plastic is too contaminated to recycle. San Diego is finally drying out after a couple of wet weeks. Let's go now to meteorologist Vanessa Paz, who is in San Diego with a look at how Southern California will fare this Thanksgiving week.
Welcome to the start of your holiday week. I'm CBS 8 meteorologist Vanessa Paz here in San Diego, California. San Diego woke up really cloudy. Some of those clouds were low enough towards the surface this morning that they reduced visibility along a lot of our major freeways, but it looks like we're looking at mostly clear skies around the 9 o'clock hour on Monday. As we take a look at weather headlines, kicking off a new work week and also inching close to the Thanksgiving holiday, a weak Santa Ana wind event will take hold throughout the week. Dry, warm, and windy conditions will elevate fire danger, especially towards the middle of the week. The heat peaks on Wednesday, valleys soaring to the 80s, and then we'll have some gradual cooling heading into the weekend. So here's a look at high temperatures for this afternoon. We'll still be cool along the beach and coastal neighborhoods. Most of us will struggle to get out of the 60s. I'm forecasting a pair of 64 for Carlsbad as well as Del Mar. Low 70s for Escondido and Poway. We'll be topping out in the upper 60s for Fallbrook, Vista, Miramar, La Mesa, as well as Chula Vista. Low 70s in Ramona, 64 later on this afternoon for Julian, and we'll hit a high of 75 for our desert communities, including Borrego Springs. So a ridge of high pressure is going to move onshore, and that's going to shift our wind direction. Typically, we look at onshore flow, which is those winds blowing from west to east. Not the case this time around. We'll have most of those winds blowing east to west, and that's going to dry things out and warm us up, especially when it comes to neighborhoods west of the mountain communities. As far as the winds, we'll start feeling them have an uptick tomorrow afternoon into the evening hours. Those red colors indicate where we could have 30-40 mile per hour gusts, and then the winds continue to strengthen. Looking ahead to Wednesday afternoon, they become a little more widespread, more confined to the foothill mountains and valley neighborhoods, but we could see them anywhere between 25 to 40 miles per hour or so. And then again, we factor in the warm conditions, and we're looking at elevated fire danger anywhere between that moderate to severe risk for areas like Ramona along the 78 as well as 76 highway. So as we take a look at the rain chances, unfortunately, we're not looking at any rain really in our future. We had plenty of rain last week, and that's actually good because it soaked up a lot of our vegetation, which was lacking moisture. We are looking at the chance for rain slim to none all the way through about Friday. Notice how it starts to climb Saturday and Sunday. That's when we could potentially have a storm dive south, but as of right now, the chances look very, very low. And of course, it is far out. As we take a look at tomorrow's highs, we are in the low 70s. Again, we'll have some gradual warming. Tomorrow is sort of our transition day into this warm up. We'll be in the upper 60s for our mountain neighborhoods and close to 80 degrees for the desert communities. Here's a quick look at your coastal inland 7-day forecast. As I mentioned, the heat peaks on Wednesday and then temperatures will gradually start to drop. We'll shave off a few degrees Thursday, even more so on Friday. But notice how sunshine continues to prevail for majority of the work week, and then clouds will start to increase this weekend as a system kind of dives south. Again, we have that showery icon because we have this small chance for some precipitation, but right now the chances look fairly low. The mountains and desert areas will top out in the upper 60s for spots like Julian tomorrow afternoon, climbing into the low 70s. So still really gorgeous in our mountain neighborhoods. Overnight lows, though, will remain pretty cool in the 40s. Meanwhile, for the desert areas, we'll stay in this pattern of the 70s before reaching the 60s this weekend.
Thanks, Vanessa. Well, sustainable farming is not just a trend for a local winery. Up next, we will tell you how sheep are keeping its operation eco-friendly. Welcome back. If you have ever wondered what wine, sheep, bees, and McDonald's could possibly have in common, I know it's probably what keeps you up at night. Well, you're about to find out. We'll show you a winery in Canyon County where sustainability isn't just a buzzword, it's a way of life.
On 35 acres in Wilder, you'll find one woman
what is my title?
Who wears all the hats.
I do everything.
Everything includes owning Carey Hill Winery.
It's been all trimmed and pruned.
A place that takes their environmental responsibility
This is where our sustainability comes in.
very seriously. It starts with the sheep.
I have been raising Carey Hill sheep. Carey Hill sheep are only basically found in Northern Ireland, England, and Wales. And they're not allowed to be exported, and the United States does not import them.
Hard to find, but that didn't stop Mindy Mayer from spending years of breeding to get some.
And I was the first person last spring, a year ago, to have 4 ewe lambs born that were 100% and 2 ram lambs born. That the first in the United States. So I'm very proud of that.
Hard to find, but also hard to miss.
Black eyes, black noses, black knees, black feet, and then their wool is really very special.
And that wool goes here.
So I take the wool and we're going to be replacing it now. You can barely see the wool now. This is from a couple of years ago, but that wool, it retains the water, it's antimicrobial, and it reflects up to ripen the grapes.
The entire winery is a live certified sustainable vineyard.
I'm only the second person in the state of Idaho to be certified. There's a lot of work, but everything that goes into the ground is measured and it has to pass certain rules and regulations to get certified.
She's considered salmon safe, which means everything that goes into the ground and comes out into the river is safe for the fish. But wait, that's not all.
Then we're bee-friendly farmers.
She mentioned that she does everything, and she's right.
I don't know if I told you this either, but I own McDonald's restaurants.
And it's the McDonald's mantra that built her passion.
You will have gold standard fries and gold standard Big Macs, and your places will be gold standard clean, and you'll have gold standard customer service and product and everything. And that's how I kind of view my vineyard. It'll always be gold standard.
She even has a McHive for her bees at the winery. For her, it's about doing something good.
It makes me no money, except I have pride that I'm doing something to try to bring back.
And she has no plans of stopping soon.
Monarch butterflies.
At this winery, it's more than just...
This is my Pinot Gris.
Great tasting wine.
People are loving Tempranillo. I've won a lot of awards with my Tempranillo.
But rather taking an earth-friendly approach to farming.
And it's just incredible how fast these grow.
Those are some well-rounded interests. All right, well, we started mild. Colorado, Arizona, California. Let's go to the active weather now. After the break, we are going to head to the Northwest with the wet and snowy weather ahead. Welcome back to Weather Out West. Thanks for sticking with us. It is the start of a holiday week, and in the Northwest, wet and cold weather is heading to the Pacific Northwest in the next couple of days, and with that, lowering snow levels that could impact any holiday travel. We now go to the great state of Washington, starting in western Washington, which will be hit the hardest by potentially significant rain and snow in the next couple of days. Meteorologist Rich Marriott is tracking the timing and expected accumulations.
Well, happy Monday morning. I'm King 5 meteorologist Rich Marriott, and well, it's been a nice morning overall to start off the work week. We had a few showers early. Those went away for most of the morning commute, and now we're looking at another little band kind of moving in. We saw quite a bit of clearing for a while, but clouds are starting to thicken up as this little weakening system pushes on in. That is going to be giving us another round of showers as it moves into Puget Sound a little later on this morning, and just a few showers around this afternoon, but they should be mixed with some sunshine. So a quiet start to the Thanksgiving holiday week, which will become less quiet as we get on towards the middle part of the week. Looking out from our Bellingham Tower cam, where we had a little bit of sun peeking through earlier, clouds have thickened up there, and we're seeing the same pattern as we drop southward there through Everett. And downtown Seattle was bathed in sunshine just about half an hour ago or so, around 8:30 this morning, but not at this point. And Seattle at the airport still holding on to a little bit of sunshine this morning, and seeing the sun down there looking south from Tacoma Tower cam, south and east especially, you're seeing a little bit of sunshine, but the clouds will fill in there, and we'll see those showers move in not too long from now. Already taking a pretty good toll out there along the coast, turning things wet once again. Temperatures this morning, though, because we did have that clearing before daybreak in a lot of places, down into the 30s just about everywhere. So definitely a chilly morning, and just a reminder that we're not too far away from that winter solstice. It's just 27 days away. It's a little over 4 weeks away right now before we officially hit the solstice and we start to increase the amount of daylight every day. The positive spin on going into the winter solstice. Take a look at our 7-day forecast. Today we're partly sunny with the showers. We do see rain move in tomorrow. That's going to be with mountain snow. Snow level is going to be down below Snoqualmie, Stevens, White Passes. So we're going to see snow moving in, especially during the afternoon and evening tomorrow, it looks like. So that's not a good time to be traveling over the Cascade Passes. It does look like we'll see things lit up as we head into early Wednesday, but then pick back up again in the afternoon as we head towards Wednesday night. But snow levels will be rising later Wednesday into Thursday, probably above Stevens and Snoqualmie Passes. So they'll either have rain or rain-snow mix, it looks like, as we head towards late Wednesday on into Thanksgiving Day itself, which looks wet, and then we gradually dry during the Thanksgiving weekend, and we actually warm back up a little bit as well. Checking the satellite image, you can just make out this little system that's moving in right now. Not much to it, and it's getting weaker as it moves inland. This system is the one that's going to be moving in late tonight, early tomorrow morning. We'll see that rain start to increase as we head towards tomorrow morning, and then pretty much steady rain through the day, picking up in the afternoon, and we'll see those snow levels stay down around 2,000, 2,500 feet. So it'll be coming as snow at Stevens and Snoqualmie Passes, and White Pass for that matter, which will be impacting travel across those passes as we head towards later on tomorrow. That's probably not the best time to be heading across the Cascades later Tuesday. It should be a little bit better as we head into Wednesday. Looking at our computer model, you can see what I'm talking about. This is the system today, kind of moves on through, and by this afternoon we're pretty much drying out around Puget Sound. We get a little bit of overnight break, and then this system moves in tomorrow. It's going to be increasing rain during the day, turning pretty wet later in the day with the snow falling up in the mountains. That cold front pushes through, and then it stalls just, it looks like it'll be just to the south of Puget Sound. It sits there overnight, and then as we head into Wednesday morning, it's going to lift back to the north, giving us another round of rain and raising snow levels right back up again. That finally sticks over us through much of Thanksgiving Day as the upper level disturbance moves through, and then we gradually dry as we head on towards the end of the week. Take a look at those in terms of snowfall up in the mountains. Not much going on today in terms of anything coming down, but as we head towards late tomorrow, you can see those snow levels pop up to stay down below Snoqualmie and Stevens Passes. We could pick up anywhere from 2 to 4 to 5 inches of snow, it looks like, at the passes. So it's been a while since we've seen any, so that might make your travel late tomorrow not the best across the highway passes. It should be switching back to rain again as we head towards Wednesday, as I said earlier. If you're headed across today, we're in pretty good shape. We've got basically it's a little bit of snow and slush on the roadways. Otherwise, advised, so bare pavement. And we're looking at actually only traction tires advised for Snoqualmie and Stevens passes, no restrictions for White passes. But be sure and check the pass conditions before you try and head over the passes. One other note too is on North Cascades Highway, they're expecting snow all the way through. They're still open at this point on Monday, but I have a feeling they may close them as we head towards a little bit later on this week. So definitely check those pass reports. So for today, we're going to see partly sunny with the off and on showers around this afternoon. Temperatures getting into the mid to upper 40s, so a little cooler than the weekend. Tomorrow, look for rain at times with that mountain snow, especially in the afternoon and evening hours as that front moves on through here. So not the best of travel times at that point. Mid 40s for the highs tomorrow. We'll get a little bit of a pause or let up as we head towards Wednesday morning, and then the rain increases again. It increases the mountains too, but snow levels rise by later Wednesday. Thanksgiving Day itself, it looks like rain at times with the snow levels staying above the main passes, and then it looks like showers Friday. Then we'll see the snow levels again stay roughly above the highway passes, and then as we head towards the weekend, we dry out with temperatures though cooling back to the mid 40s for Saturday and Sunday.
Thanks, Rich. As you just heard him say, in Washington, many people will drive over the Cascade Mountains this week to head east and west for the holiday. Let's go now to meteorologist Thomas Patrick on the other side of the Cascades in eastern Washington, tracking what happens when this storm heads to the east.
I'm meteorologist Thomas Patrick in Spokane, Washington. A lot to get to for this Thanksgiving week for eastern Washington and North Idaho, which does include our first snowfall of the season. Now starting to look more confidently forecasted for this Wednesday morning, realistically. Though we do get through a breezy Monday to start the week here, and then it will be cold enough to get us to that first snowfall, especially Tuesday night and Wednesday morning. So we actually have gone with a weather impact alert day for that. It's not going to be a ton of snow, and I don't even think it sticks around all day on Wednesday. Though it is our first snowfall of the season, we know that can catch some people off guard. And since it is the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, it is very timely in terms of travel impact. So I think there will be very messy travel conditions, either for the commuters on the last day of the work week before the holidays, or for those that are doing more regional traveling, especially around the mountain passes. So there is a lot of potential impacts here surrounding this first snowfall of the season for the inland Northwest. As we jump right into Future Tracker, this is 10 p.m. Tuesday night. Snow beginning, and first of all, our modeling is widespread with the snow. I saw that this morning and my eyes just opened up wide. Now this looks worse than what it will ultimately end up being. If I see this in the middle of January, that could be several inches of snow. But for this stage of the season, it's just more slush than anything else. So because it's such a wet snowfall, it will have a hard time actually giving us accumulations. If anything, I think it's the grass that gets the most snow held. Then the bridges could get a little dusting of some very wet snowfall. And if it just keeps going and going, maybe we get to streets and sidewalks and the rest of the grounded areas. So I do think in terms of a snowstorm, this is pretty minor overall. It's just our first snowfall of the season. So just please don't get caught off guard by this. More than a heads up for Wednesday morning that will have some minor travel impacts for the commuters for that morning in particular. It's the mountain passes that are more heavily impacted. For this map, I do show that Lookout Pass near the Silver Valley has some more moderate weather impacts. Includes Snoqualmie on the other side out towards the west. That will definitely get some modest and moderate snowfall. So for those traveling back and forth between Spokane and Seattle, even on Tuesday or Wednesday, will be impacted. You will see slowdowns in addition to it being a heavy travel day to begin with. So the ultimate timing is Tuesday night and Wednesday morning, as you saw, but it's more of a slushy and very melting snowfall more than anything that's going to be icy. But still, if you put your foot down on some slush, it still shifts and moves around quite a bit. So I do think it will end up being slippery, just a lot more moderate mountain snowfall. As for today, we still get a bit of some light precipitation, even reports of graupel around the inland northwest this morning, but that cold front is exiting the region. So the forecast for Spokane shakes out like this. A little breezy today with more sunshine in the afternoon and a quiet Tuesday before we get to that snowfall. So Tuesday night, Wednesday morning, slushy snow before it melts for Wednesday and Thanksgiving.
All right, going national, new video today shows the aftermath of torrential rain in southern Thailand. The country's government says 2 million people are affected. You can see people wading, oh yeah, there they are, through the waist-high water or traveling the streets by boat. Officials report the rainfall in the region this weekend was the highest it's been in 300 years. Water levels are expected to keep rising through tomorrow. Well, still ahead after the break, that storm that's hitting Washington, you guessed it, it is also going to impact nearby Oregon and also swing through Idaho. Forecasts from those states are next. Check this out. The Oregon Zoo is lighting up once again for the holiday season. This was the first weekend of Zoo Lights, which gives people the chance to visit the zoo, transformed into an interactive light show. There are nearly 24 displays across the zoo, some returning and some new ones designed by local artists and makers.
It's actually really nice. They're very gorgeous and it's fun to see it.
It's really nice. It's like I should empty out my storage because I took a lot of photos. It's like cold out here, so you put on something warm and then you see all the lights. It's really Christmas vibe.
Nothing like getting you in the holiday spirit. Well, Zoo Lights is open most nights through January 4th, so still plenty of time to check it out. All right, anyone driving I-5 this week, it could be wet out there. Oregon is following a similar trend of increasing rain tomorrow compared to Washington. Let's go now to meteorologist Rod Hill, who is tracking when conditions will be wettest in Oregon.
The Monday before Thanksgiving here in the Rose City, and I'm telling folks, today is the day. If you have a whole list of things you want to accomplish and take care of before Thanksgiving, today will be the easy day to get it done because we're really looking at mainly dry weather with just a passing scattered shower here and there. And then we're going to get into this fetch of moisture streaming in starting tomorrow morning. And for the most part, Portland could be raining literally every second. Once it starts tomorrow morning through the rest of Tuesday, Tuesday night, Wednesday to Wednesday night. So a pretty good push of rain coming our direction. Pretty quiet though, as I mentioned today. We've been tracking some heavier showers up around Astoria and Long Beach, and Futurecast shows here we are this morning in green, a little scattered shower. Here we are this afternoon, but again, and that may even represent more rain than we actually see. So it's a pretty quiet day. Now here is tomorrow, and there's a couple of things to note. Number one, the actual timing of when these raindrops start to arrive, a bit in question. This shows 10, 11 o'clock tomorrow morning in Portland. Some models go a little bit earlier. I don't think it will be later. And then back here, you can see how steady all the rain is. I'm going to show you snow up at Timberline in just a second. Snow levels today are 2,500 feet. The blue color, that is snow up in the Cascades. So just focus on that. Here's the rain moving in during the day. But this still shows potentially snow. It's with a warm front. As a forecaster, I will tell you, at least speaking for myself personally, it's tough to gauge when you get a push of rain coming in with the warm front, when exactly the snow levels will start to rise. Sometimes you get caught with the falling as snow up in the high country for hours and hours and hours. You weren't really expecting it before it eventually bumps up and then everything changes to rain. So we're telling people, make sure you check conditions up in the high country on Tuesday. Now, eventually, Tuesday night into Wednesday, I think without doubt, it could be rain as high as Timberline Lodge at 6,000 feet. Here's all the rain channeling into our area on Wednesday. And then the shutoff to all this will be the trailing cold front that comes in first thing Thanksgiving morning on Thursday. Pretty good soak. We've got nearing 2 inches in Astoria, over an inch up and down much of the coast. Not all weather models, but this one and the majority of them show we get over an inch of rain over the next couple of days, which makes sense. From Portland northward, shows lesser amounts as you drop down to the south. And now here is that snowy look at Timberline Lodge. This isn't much, but they've had so little, period. This has been 2 inches of snowfall this morning. It has been cold enough, 2,500 foot snow level, that we have snow at least early this morning over our Cascade passes, expecting improving travel conditions this afternoon as temperatures bump up a little bit. Beautiful partly cloudy start in Lincoln City from our Chinook Winds Casino Resort camera along the central Oregon coast. We've had some fog in Salem. There's our state capital, but obviously the fog is now lifting and that's starting to look pretty nice. And it's been kind of a mostly cloudy start over downtown Portland where we have been mainly dry. That was our Rose City camera. All dry today, central and eastern areas of our state, partly sunny skies, getting up to about 50 with a shower or two, coast and valley. Here's the rainy pattern Tuesday, Wednesday, and again, it comes in with warmer air. So Thanksgiving, early rain, otherwise sunbreak, scattered showers, a mild 54 degrees for a high, and still pretty warm on Friday with some limited showers around. Saturday showers might pick up just a little bit in number.
Thank you, Rod. Our final forecast today takes us to Idaho. We go now to Tyson White in Boise, who's keeping an eye on windy conditions, picking up in the Gem State.
Well, hi there, I'm Tyson White out here in Boise from KTVB, and we are taking a look at the snow stake at Tamarack Resort this morning because they saw some snow overnight and into the morning hours out there as a weak cool front pushed through, running some scattered snow showers to elevations above 6,000 feet out there, so really showing the conditions here. But as we take a look at our Redfish Lake visitor camera this morning, no snow here, and they're sitting at an elevation of about 6,500 feet out there, so really depending on where you were with those scattered showers out there. Kind of gloomy, kind of soggy in here. We saw maybe some rain showers in the Cascade area here as well. Smiths Ferry, you can see the roadways are wet there this morning, but they saw some rain along the Long Valley there in some places out there by Cougar Mountain Lodge. Here in the Boise area, we haven't seen any precipitation just yet today, but we could see a spotty shower through the afternoon hours as things start to clear out and that cool front pushes eastward out of our area. And then gloomy here at the May Marina camera, you can see some raindrops popping on some puddles on the sidewalk there, and they could see another shower or two through the early afternoon hours throughout today as well. And it's all thanks in part to a cool front that pushed through. For the Magic Valley for today, though, we're looking at temperatures in the mid 40s. Blustery conditions here. We have a wind advisory in effect we'll tell you about in just a second, but really partly cloudy skies as that cool front pushes through today. So the central mountain location, Stanley and Sun Valley, could see another spotty shower or two, maybe a sprinkle of snow throughout the early afternoon hours, but temperatures in the low 40s, upper 30s for Stanley. The west central mountains also looking at temperatures in the mid 30s there along Long Valley into McCall, Donley, and Cascade. Still a passing snow flurry, a raindrop or two this morning and into this afternoon. Riggins going to be the warm spot here at 50 degrees for daytime highs. Western into the Treasure Valley, Ontario Weiser could see a spotty shower, very light and very brief at all, if at all, throughout the afternoon. Temperatures in the low 50s, upper 40s for the western edge of the Treasure Valley. Mid 40s here for the Boise area. Partly cloudy skies once that frontal passes through the state and across the eastern portion. 44 there for Idaho City today. That frontal passage is kind of right over the south central Idaho right now, and it's been leaving behind some blustery winds. Also seeing some scattered showers out in Gem County as well as up in the west central mountains and Elmore County throughout this morning and into this afternoon as well. As we take a look at the bigger picture, or the brunt of that storm, really, that front really is pushing through Montana, Missoula, and Great Falls, all seeing some snow and some rain showers out there through today. Taking a look at our snow totals that we're going to be expecting to see over the next 24 hours, only expected to see about an inch of snow there in the McCall area, almost an inch there in the Stanley area. So really not a big snowmaker. I know those skiers and boarders were really looking forward to skiing this weekend or this coming weekend to Thanksgiving. Really not looking great for it this week here across southern Idaho. We do have a wind advisory thanks in part to that cool front for portions of central Idaho and eastern Idaho out there from 12 to 8 o'clock tonight with gusts up to about 50 miles per hour. We can see gusts in the Magic Valley up to about 40 miles per hour. Here in the Treasure Valley, we can see gusts up to about 15 or 20 miles per hour with daytime highs in the mid 40s. And again, in the Magic Valley, in the upper 40s here, blustery conditions later this afternoon as that front pushes through the area. Our Twin Falls 7-day forecast, looking at seeing temperatures warming up quite a bit right into Thanksgiving, really staying a little bit above average. And then, boy, look at the weekend, cooling off into about 18 degrees by Sunday out there. And our 7-day forecast for the Boise area. Well, after we get this cool front push through, we'll see partly cloudy skies all the way through Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving being the warmest day out there, and above average continued all the way through to the weekend. But then we really start cooling off into Saturday and Sunday.
Thanks, Tyson. Idaho's hidden springs are powering more than rivers. They're fueling a revolution in fish farming. Up next, how researchers are creating rainbow trout that thrive on plant-based diets and why it could reshape aquaculture. Finally today, in Idaho's Magic Valley, the water of thousands of springs have long been the lifeblood of the state's aquaculture industry. But now those springs are helping fuel a breakthrough.
In Idaho, you can find Thousand Springs State Park.
The immense kind of water resources that we have here are extremely valuable.
Multiple springs flow along the Snake River in the western Magic Valley. Many of them feed into the fish hatcheries.
All of our water comes from either seep tunnels or directly from springs upstream from us here.
The cold springs don't just feed our rivers, they're fueling innovation in aquaculture.
We're here at the Hagerman Fish Culture Experiment Station. These are our breeding raceways. So the raceways are these long cylindrical cement tanks, more or less. The way that we raise rainbow trout here is we take advantage of flow through spring water. So we have water entering the raceways at the head boxes and then flowing in a very laminar flow fashion and then passing out through the raceways. Hagerman and Buell, all along this region of the Snake River, is really kind of a mecca for aquaculture in the state. We're number 1 in rainbow trout production, number 2 in sturgeon and caviar, number 4, believe it or not, in warm water tilapia production, number 5 in overall aquaculture product value.
Aquaculture is a big portion of the Magic Valley. All right, we raise rainbow trout more here than anywhere in the U.S.
But it's what the fish are eating that's creating a ripple in the industry. Traditional trout feed relies on ingredients like ground dried fish, which is expensive and increasingly hard to find.
Fish meal and fish oil have been the primary protein and oil sources in aquaculture. They are very limited. Basically, there's not enough now to go around to feed aquaculture it is. So we need a sustainable replacement source.
Because of this, USDA and University of Idaho researchers have been trying something new, developing rainbow trout that thrive on plant-based diets.
On that protein source, they can grow as well as they did on the fish meal, and without giving them fish oil, we still get those heart and brain healthy omega-3 fatty acids that were previously required to feed them fish oil, now using plant oils.
They started this 20 years ago, and today it's proving its success.
Diets are the number 1 input cost for farm producers of aquaculture. So by being able to use those cheaper plant-based ingredients while still creating a very, adapted diet that's going to meet all of the needs of the fish, we're able to greatly reduce the input costs to those farmers and allow them to produce still a very nutritious and wholesome protein source for its human consumers, but at a reduced input cost, allowing the farmers to have just a little bit more profit margin, hopefully.
These scientists have been breeding fish that can digest corn, soy, peas, even sorghum.
It's selective breeding. So we've got a trait that we want to improve. We know the variations there, and we have selected on that trait.
The goal? Get these super rainbow trout sustainably raised without pressure on ocean ecosystems and to be safe for consumers.
We know what went into that fish. We know mercury is not going to be there. We know it's going to be fed and be appropriate for the consumers to ingest. And it's going to relieve that harvest pressure on those wild populations.
Well, that does it for us here on Weather Out West on this Monday, November 24th. I'm meteorologist Leah Pizzetti. Thank you so much for spending the last hour with us. We will be back here tomorrow, same time, same place. Have a great day.